how are you doing today? My name is Louis Lee, and I'd like to introduce the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts Guitar Program. Welcome back. This is the fun part. We're going to continue working on Hotel California, and what we have here, last week we went over the chords, our last lesson I should say, and this week, or this lesson, we're going to focus on the manuscript. This is called manuscript. Whenever you see a paper like this, and it has a bunch of stabs, it's full of stabs, it's called manuscript. This is a manuscript, and these are the stabs that are on this. And you see, he's done a great job. He's numbered the stabs, he's numbered the measures, and so he's just did a great job. Okay, so we have these two songs. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we went over the chords, and hopefully you studied the chords and you're ready. If not, do not worry about it. And again, my producer asked me to mention that we all make mistakes. I know I do. Believe it or not, I make mistakes. But I try to learn from my mistakes. When I make a mistake, you say, okay, it's going to happen. And then you just try to say, okay. But we all make mistakes. So don't think if you make a mistake that you're imperfect, you can't make it. No. Think of me saying this, mistakes is part of life. You see, if you don't make a mistake, then maybe you're not alive. And then that's something else, another story. Okay, moving on, a little humor. Okay, great. So we have a song here. Let me start the clock. I should have done it, so I know it's about a minute. Okay, great. And here we go. We're going to put on our metronome. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the verse of the song. A verse is usually what the song is all about. It tells you a story. The chorus is the hook. It just repeats whatever the name of the song is, okay? So just so that you know this. So we're going to just do the chorus first so that you hear what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stop because my ear is telling me something is wrong. And all this is part of it. You might have heard it. I didn't check my tuning. So I made a mistake. You see, and I heard it when I was playing. That B string. Remember I tell you that B, when I played that chord, I heard it. It was like, watch it. It's amazing how these guitars get out of tune so fast. Okay, now we're in tune. So we're going to try it again, and this time shouldn't be any mistakes. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Now let's start. So that was 8 measures. Okay. Now remember, the song is so that you can connect, and it's important that every guitar player can play a song. Most guitar players, they can play really nice runs, but they cannot play a song. And you want to be able to play a song completely through. Reading is all about it. You want to be able to hear a song because it's very refreshing and you can entertain yourself. So this is a starting point. Learning a song, putting together a repertoire, knowing songs that you can play. And this is a nice song, it's not too difficult. Now what we'll do later on in the lesson, once you become more advanced, and some of my students, is you'll be able to incorporate the melody, it's called solo guitar, and the chords and the bass line simultaneously. So now you sound like a keyboard player, where you're playing all of this simultaneously. But that's advanced, but this is the first step, to learn as many songs as you can. Now, something else about learning songs. You can learn 7 songs, and by the time you learn the 7th song, you've forgotten the first. It happens. I cannot tell you how many songs I've learned. And if I do not play it, I'll forget it. It's natural. You want to know that. You cannot play all of your songs. There's thousands of songs, because of my age that I've played. I can literally say I've played, because I play classical music as well. I've played, well, maybe not 1,000, okay, but quite a lot, maybe hundreds of songs that I've played. And I don't remember all of them. And hundreds of songs, I've written out melodies, I just don't remember. I have my favorites, but even with those, I've got maybe 70 or 60 favorite songs in my repertoire that I really love, but I have to play it constantly. And if I do not, I forget. So what I do is I write everything down, all of my music. As with Michael, Mike, what he's done, but I write all of my arrangements down. And that's the best part of knowing literature, or being literate, I should say. You can write it down, because sometimes I will come up with an arrangement and it's awesome. And if I do not write that down, I'll come back and I'll forget. What did I do? And it's oblivious. It might come back, it might not, and that's frustrating. So when you're literate and you know music and you know how to put it down, you can always refer back to it. And then you know the song just like that. I've got songs that I've written that were difficult songs, and I can read. If I want to play it, I study that song, and within hours, I know that song again, because I just keep practicing it, but I can read the music, as opposed to having to rearrange the song and put it all together. No, that's time consuming. When you're doing a chord melody, for an example, a song. There's a lot going on there, okay? So that's solo melody, but that's written out and that's worked out. And I know that because I've written that out. But if I had to learn that over again, and if I forgot that, it may be difficult because of the chords that I'm using. You know, I'm using chords like this. Okay, now that's getting into advanced, but I'm trying to illustrate a point. Yeah, but you know, that arrangement, you know, the voicing, it's not your regular chords that you find guitar players playing. And that's what we're headed for in this direction, where you can orchestrate. When you look at this guitar, it's an orchestra. You know, you have 6 strings, but it's different. And you do not have to look at it as just a rhythm. You can play a lot of different arrangements, and you can do a lot with it. So this class, these lessons will help you so you can achieve that and be able to do that. And with that in mind, I'm looking at the clock. We run out of time, and it's been fun, exciting, and that concludes lesson on fun on lesson 4. Thank you.